There's not enough wine in the world for having to follow these 5. Whew. Okay, I'm a very loud talker, so I'm not used to being mic'd. Is that better? Less? Okay, so, yeah, no, I'm not starting yet. What I was going to ask for, I think you can all agree, since I have to go very last, I deserve a couple of concessions, right? My only concession, I was going to ask to say 1 or 2 quick things before I actually click ahead. So the first is Judy. I was going to thank Judy first for talking me into doing this, and then second for sticking me dead last. So I thought it was going to suck to be last. I did not know how much it was going to suck. I'm not kidding. A round of applause for the 5 powerhouse women who came before me. It was amazing. I was brought to tears at least like 3 different times. I'm still feeling emotional about it. So, and then the second thing I want to say, I just will feel better if I say this. I need to share with you all. Am I moving too much? I hear scratching. Am I all right? Oh, thank you. Oh, now it's popped off my ear. I didn't think this was going to be the challenging part. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. The other thing I was going to say is I truly do love presenting. I feel the need to get that off my chest before I begin, in case it looks otherwise once I actually start the timer. I am a professor, and I could literally profess all day long. You're actually probably starting to get a sense of that. I am going to start in just a second, but what I don't like is the 20-second thing. Like, this is a serious stretch assignment for me. And I see my other fellow presenters nodding. I am sitting here thinking every single slide I am about to pull up is truly 25, 28 seconds long, and I'm thinking somehow miraculously when I start in a minute, that's all going to fix itself. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I feel a little better just having shared that with all of you. So, okay, and then last thing is someone's going to share some alcohol with me when I'm done here. It's literally the first time I've ever walked past an open bar and didn't get something, because alcohol will slow my speech, and I can't have it slowed by a millisecond, or we are in trouble. Okay, so with that now, I believe I'm ready to go. Okay. Hi, I'm Deidra. I'm a professor, and I'm a little obsessed with talent management in terms of what I teach, what I research, and also what I practice as department chair for the greatest department in the world, Management and Entrepreneurship, in our own Ivy College of Business. I give lots of talks about talent management, and usually they're all about best practices, because turns out people need that, because frankly we all kind of suck in this area. Like, we're really truly bad. But for this talk, I'm taking a step back to talk about why I study this to begin with. Yes, talent management is a source of competitive advantage for organizations, blah, blah, blah. That's not really why I study it. I study it because it's about people. I'm a psychologist by training and by orientation. All my degrees and my first 2 faculty jobs were actually in psych, and I make zero apologies for viewing management and business as issues of psychology, of people. I also make zero apologies for thinking that people are more important than systems. As my colleagues and my boss, David, will tell you, I complain a little bit about our systems here at times, just a little. There's a reason for that. Much like many places, we have a lot of room for improvement, but we have amazing talent, amazing individuals, and I'd take individuals over systems any day. So what is talent management? Talent management essentially is understanding people, and talent itself refers to people who are really good at what they do. really good at what they do, because talent, of course, is diverse. So I'm going to share with you 4 very diverse examples of people who are very talented and who have shaped my enthusiasm for studying talent and the way that I think about it. So, example number 1, Michael Jordan. I was in love with Michael in the mid-90s. I mean, look at him. And the Chicago Bulls at that time were so fun to watch. There was MJ, of course, but there was also Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. They had won multiple NBA championships at the time, including 3 from 96 to 98, which happened to be at the exact same time as the last 3 years of my PhD program when I started studying these things. It was my first realization I can remember of just how fun it is, how cool to watch true talent, people who are so good at what they do. Look at that jump shot there. It is truly amazing. And that realization came at a pivotal time in my career. Then fast forward several years to example number 2, a group of people that we don't often use the term cool to describe, and that is professors. I've had the true privilege to be department chair for this group for 4 years, and they have taught me more about managing talent than anyone. And I love them for that and many other reasons. But they've taught me that talent is diverse, even in the same position. They don't all have the same strengths in research or teaching, or even things like running meetings or chairing committees. Actually, especially in those areas, they vary a lot. And they've taught me that talent diversity should be leveraged and truly appreciated. So for my part, I am truly jack of all trades, master of none, truly. I'm an odd mix of things as an academic, and it's nice to say that in a group like this because you don't have time to go, oh, that's not true, Deidra. But it is true. It's a strength because it allows me to appreciate a diversity of perspectives. So, example number 3, this is my father, August Schleicher. My dad is the first I can remember to have taught me that talent is tied to your passion. He's a 3rd-generation funeral director in a small Minnesota town. He is excellent at what he does because of his passion, the passion for serving families in their time of great need, including at 85 years old. He's 85 in these pictures, still growing strong. He finally sold his business at 80, and we thought, oh, he's finally going to retire. He didn't retire. He just started working for the guy he sold the business to 60 hours a week. And he likes to send me stories, news articles about how retirement is bad for your health. Okay, so final example, also tied to the passion theme, the recent Women in Agribusiness Summit I went to. I teach in our EMBA program, so I go to this conference to help recruit talented women, and I learn a ton always about how passion drives talent, but also some staggering stats, feeding 10 billion people by 2050. This is 2 billion beyond where we are now, and we're not feeding everyone. These WI women are passionate about this. One of the women on the panel that I took a picture of here shared, I don't grow organic corn because I can't feed the world on organic corn. If you listen to what people's passions are, you learn a lot about where and how they will apply their talent. So my wrap up, I need to leave you with some summary items because I'm a professor and I can't help myself, and a couple quick pieces of advice. So the first one that just went by because my timing sucks is about celebrating talent in all of its diverse forms. Number 2, though, piece of advice number 2, it's not your job to figure out for people what their passions are. It is your job to listen when they tell you and to try to understand it. It makes you a better manager, a better friend, a better parent, and a better person. Advice number 3, if you want to become a better manager, a better teammate, start with recognition. But in order to recognize your people, you have to actually look at the whole person and see them as such, and then recognize that. This was recently reinforced in a newsletter I got from a consulting firm. There was a quote by Ken Blanchard, who's written a lot of books on this topic, saying, catch people doing things right and then recognize them. Let me assure you, this is what it feels like when you catch your people doing things right. It's also what it feels like for them. Finally, I cannot end a talk on talent and passion without talking about my passions. My husband, John, and our 12-year-old daughter, Kate, who are here. They are my greatest passion. They also put up with a lot while I pursue all of the other passions I was talking about in here. So let me take a moment to say I love you and to thank them very much and to thank all of you for this super fun stretch opportunity, and especially to thank Sam Dielacher for her amazing help with these slides.